evening.
Good evening. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy with the trailer. It's looking quite promising, and it's music, it's dance, it's those bits. I'm totally getting the vibe of it. I'm already loving the trailer.
I love your
I'm just
energy.
getting that.
I'm loving your energy
Yeah,
with this. Yeah, that's how we felt while
yeah.
making.
Yes. I really want to know, what was the most interesting part for you to be part of the story? And also, you're playing the dad of a young girl. But what a handsome dad you are.
Thank you. I think whatever worries I had about playing the father of a teenager went out the door when I was like, I'm part of the Disney family, then that's worth it. Why not? And I love the reaction of most people saying, you're
Yes.
playing the dad of a teenager. Like, isn't it too early for you? And I'm like, you know what? I am in my 40s, to be honest. Technically speaking, I can be even now. So the fact that people think I'm still in my early 30s is great. I still get those
Yes,
roles.
but
Fine. As long as I keep getting those roles, I
yeah,
can do whatever. Yeah.
yeah. But tell me, what was the most interesting part for you to be, kind of part of the story, and what was what was the I would like to know kind of the relating point with the character, the actor meets the character, like that one very defining moment that happens. What was that for you?
Well, the exciting thing was the fact that this was like an Indian American story, where the community is front and center, and it's the representation is so crucial here. And that's something that the US film industry has very slowly started to come around to doing. And it's nice to have Disney at the front of that movement because it is going to be a movement of any ethnic community that is a part of mainstream America today. And so I think
Sure.
that was one of the biggest things. And what was relatable for me was I was saying, like, my sisters who live in the US and have their children there, and my nephews and my nieces are American. And my sisters
Yes.
have lived more than half their lives there, but yet they sound like me, but they're more American than they're Indian now. So it was all of these little nuances, little things that, mainstream US television and film has not yet explored. So I think that was the most exciting thing to do. Like, it's redefining what we perceive an American looks and sounds like. Forget just the fact that many ethnic communities have been stereotyped for a long time, and the fact that we've
Mm,
been on the sidelines. All that is true. But the most exciting thing was to be able to portray someone who I have as my immediate family. Like, I'm representing them here, even though I'm not an American citizen and I don't have a citizenship there. But to play that and to be like, I don't have to roll my R's to sound like a
yeah.
local, and that was
Mm-mm.
kind of fresh.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so
But
many
but
in that sense.
Abhay, one of the very important part here is the representation that we are talking about, right? And we always want to go out of that whole stereotype, the stereotypical thing that has been happening for so long, and this is that time when we are actually opening the conversation. And of course, cinema is definitely a very very powerful medium that way, right? To explore that opportunity, but when it comes to culture, especially when we say that kids, especially who are born in America, and they are like more American than those who are like going there for job and stuff. Uh, don't you think that this whole thing of feeling rooted is, and this definition of being rooted and getting introduced to the Indian tradition is way very very different for them as opposed to us? Like, how do you look at that? Of Because for them it's like Bollywood is one of the zaria, or Indian classical dance or Indian classical music are some of the zaria to stay connected or stay rooted. You know what I mean? How do you look at that? Yeah.
But this is why this film is so important. Because look, America is a country of immigrants. There's no one definition of what an American
Sure.
is. And the beauty of the US and Canada included in that sense is the fact that it's people from all over the world that have come here and have found common ground and values, and are basically creating their life there together as one country. And so for people to grow up being represented as local, then what you're saying is true. Like, I have relatives who come from the US into India, thinking they don't fit in the US. So they feel, oh, we should go back to our country and see, because there's my people there. But they come to India and they realize they're more American. And then suddenly they feel American because truly they are. So they kind of fall in between the cracks. And which is why, again, Spin is such an important film to show that, no, you belong here. While you come from another culture, no doubt, you have roots. Your roots are actually here. Yeah, your parents came from that culture, but everybody's parents came from another culture and came and settled down here, whether one generation ago or 2 generations ago or 3 generations ago. Everybody came in from the outside and converged in, and now it's important to integrate. And so I think that's why this movement is so crucial. I do feel bad when I meet relatives and friends who are finding themselves and don't find themselves represented or feel like they belong in the country they're born in. And then they come to the country they think that their parents are from, and they think they belong there, and they realize they don't belong there either, because they've grown up abroad. So yeah, I think this film will sort of show them that, no, you are American. Doesn't mean you're not of Indian descent. You are, but you are a part of this country that is beautiful in the fact that it is a country of immigrants, and there's no one color or accent that defines you as an American. Yeah.
There are two.
It happens slowly as we see more and more of us represented there, in many aspects. The more they will feel that they belong there.
Yeah, it is about that sense of belonging, I think. But if I ask you, there are two things, two stereotype of Indian character that is needed to be stopped, like right now. What are those two elements or two things would be for you in cinema?
Look, there's stereotyping everywhere, whether it's Hollywood or Bollywood. Even in Bollywood, we stereotype different communities, So that's stereotyping people, whether in India or in the US, does a lot of harm, because it just kind of pigeonholes people as one thing. And is there one or two particular kinds that the US does? I don't know. I don't know. Like I suppose it's either you're really exotic and attractive, or you're the nerd. I guess they're two extremes. With the women, it's mostly beautiful, exotic. With the men, it's usually nerds, I suppose. But yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't think too much upon it. Especially the fact that there is change happening now. I focus more on the fact that there's change than that there's been so much stereotyping up until now. Because you want to look forward and move on. Learn from the past, but look at the future.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that's the way to go. And thank you so much for sharing your opinion and giving your time. Thank you so much. It's really lovely talking to you, and wish you all the best.